Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone to our weekly Bhagavad Gita session. Um, going to discuss a very interesting topic today, Gahana Karmanogati. And it's a very practical topic. All of us can have lots of questions about it. The simple words, the Prabhupada translate this as intricacies of karma are very difficult to understand, and that's why it's called Gahana. Gahan is good. Gahan is something very. It's something which is unpenetratable by our own intelligence. Something such a complex puzzle we can't break with our own intelligence, and we need external help. This is the underlying principle of or the meaning of the word gahan. And karmano gatihi is karmano gatihi is the intricacies of karma are very difficult to understand. So how should we, what is the topic, what is this, how does it relate to us? And that's where we'll be spending a lot of time, and what we can do about it. We'll be probably spending a lot of time on that, discussing that aspect of this the whole concept of karma. Before that, reminder: we need to experience devotional transformation as we learn Bhagavad Gita. All of us are doing our bit, so hopefully all of us are chanting regularly. All of us have mentally accepted Krishna to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All of us hopefully are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantram, thereby associating with Lord personally. All of us hopefully are also, apart from attending Bhagavad Gita sessions every Sunday, they're trying to read Bhagavad Gita, they're trying to memorize verses of Bhagavad Gita, make do deeper contemplation on what we hear about Bhagavad Gita. It's not it's not an engineering topic that you have to learn, produce, write something in the paper and get some marks and clear the exam. Got all this has got deep practical application, and we'll come to the today's topic. We'll get to know that कि कितना ये हमारे जीवन से निगड़ित है. So this is not independent theories that we are discussing, independent principles that we are discussing, which were discussed between two individuals, two friends, about 5,000 years back, and has no relevance for today. No, that's not the case. Every step in our life, we can see how Bhagavad Gita is relevant, how Bhagavad Gita reveals what is happening in our life, in through the verses, through the text, the wisdom texts, and hence it's a subject matter of deep contemplation. Application happens when we try to contemplate on the subject matter, on the verse, on the message, on the instruction. And then try to relate it with our life. And that's where we will get difficulties. We will have lots of questions, because everyone's life is different. So what was spoken as a general principle, when I try to apply it for my life, we will find difficulties. And that's why we need devotees in our life to give guidance. And as a combined effect of all this effort is we experience devotional transformation in our heart. If you are not experiencing it, seek guidance, talk to devotees, call devotees, seek their time and speak to them, reveal your heart to them, that which aspect of devotional service you are not able to apply, and because of which your progress is not happening as satisfactorily as you would have imagined. So this is something very practical, and should be done with all seriousness. As we would do it in our studies, engineering studies, chartered accountancy studies, MBA studies, or in our job, in our careers. How serious we are, how much time we devote, how much mentally we are invested in our studies, in our career development, in our achieving goals that we set for ourselves, how much mentally, emotionally, physically we get involved. We should have similar approach to the bhakti also, because this is going to give you permanent results. All the results you will attain by your other endeavors, by getting degrees, by by building career, by transforming yourself from a poor to rich. All of that are temporary. At the end of this life, everything will be taken away, and unfortunately, you will have to start with the zero. So, but this aspect, this thing, bhakti, whatever you will achieve in bhakti, will give you permanent results, and they will be brought forward, taken forward to the next life also. So, we should become more serious when it comes to bhakti. We do the opposite. We are serious in our material life. We become casual in our devotional life, and therefore we don't really get as much benefit as we should from by practicing bhakti, by practicing devotional service. So we should have that right approach, right guidance, and right practice. And then the results will be there for us to witness devotional transformation. Battlefield. We'll discuss more about this today as we will come across various examples. How we are in battlefield. I don't think we need a bigger evidence to to understand and to realize that every minute in this life, in this world, is like a battlefield. We are never away from the battle. It's sometimes inner battle, sometimes external battle, but the battles are always going on in for us. Do a quick recap of what we are talking about. We will be discussing a verse from chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita, but before going there, we will do a quick recap of where we have come so far. So it all started by Arjuna asking a question to Krishna in the second chapter, seventh verse. Pruchhami tvam dharma samudacheta. I'm asking you, what is my dharma? What I should do? What is my duty? What am I supposed to do? I'm asking you, what is best for me? You please tell me that. And I'm asking you this in a samudha chetaha, in a bewildered state of mind. I'm completely confused, not slightly. I'm completely confused, and in this stage of mind, I'm unable to decide what is right for me. What should I do? What was his problem statement? His problem was whether to kill or to protect his own friends and family members. Now, one will say, "Ki family members are meant for killing." Who says that? Who does that? Of course, they are meant for protecting. But in this particular battle, a special battle, a battle of his lifetime, and he had fought many battles in past, but this special battle, he was standing in front of his beloved Dronacharya, his beloved Bhishmacharya, Krupacharya, and many of his friends, many of his brothers, relatives. They were all standing in the opposite party with their weapons, ready to fight a war with Arjuna. Now Arjuna was in this dilemma that if this war has to happen, if we proceed with this war, either I will end up killing all of them or they will end up killing us. Either way, it's a lose-lose proposition. They are my people, they are my people, they are my friends, they are my family, they are my brothers, they are my uncles, they are my grandfathers. Who kill them? Who kills people, our own people, just because I have greater prowess, just because I'm a better archer than them? Should I go on killing them? For what? For that small piece of land called Hastinapur or Indraprastha, or getting some pieces. Oh, this is the battle over a piece of land. What am I doing really? So, whether to kill or to protect was the question, and he was unable to determine what is the right path. So, he posed this question to Krishna. We don't have Krishna in our life, but we have Bhagavad Gita, and we have devotees who are also trying to practice Bhagavad Gita as per their capacity, as per their understanding. And those are the people to whom we should go and seek our guidance, that where we are getting stuck, what is our problem, what is it that we are not able to apply, what is it that we are not able to understand. So through deep contemplation, we will get questions. We'll find out where we are lacking. in terms of application in the real life. And that is where we should seek guidance from devotees. So, fortunately, Krishna was available for Arjuna. So, he immediately take the position of a teacher and start addressing his issue of killing by reminding Arjuna about the concept of soul. Now, it's not that Arjuna doesn't know about the concept of soul. Now, this is a Vedic society. It's not completely degraded. Today, we spend a lot of time when we meet new devotees, new devotees, new bhaktas. We spend a lot of time in helping them understand that they are not this body, they are spirit soul. Prabhupada used to say in the class that we are not our body, we are spirit soul. If we are not our body, whose body are we? Used to be the question that his Western disciples used to ask him. Because we are body, this is engraved in our consciousness so deeply that we cannot think ourselves not being this body. We are the body, we are male, we are female, we have this bodily conception has got so much deep rooted inside our consciousness that it becomes very difficult to separate ourselves from that consciousness. But and hence a lots of time in bhakti, in devotional process is spent, or lot of time is spent in reminding people that they are not this body, they are spirit soul. Through various ways, through various means, by giving so many examples, by using common sense approach, by showing them the theories of reincarnation, by so many ways and means, it can be finally concluded by those people that well, they are not their body, they are spirit soul, they are spiritual beings, and they possess a body, the body which is made up of 8 elements: earth, water, air, fire, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Now, these elements we have taken from the nature, and we will return those elements back to the nature when we will leave this body. We means we are the soul, and we are in possession of a body, and we will give up this body and return all these elements back to the body, back to the nature, when this body becomes useless. That's what the event called death. Death happens to the body, not to the soul. Soul simply moves on to the new body. So this is the knowledge of soul. Finally, when it is understood by people, they feel very liberated. They feel, wow, and they find as if they have got some magic. They've learned some magic, that itself, that the feeling of realization that I'm not this body, I'm spirit soul, I'm separate from the body, I'm superior than the body, I'm higher than the body, I will continue to exist even if this body will not exist, and the body is temporary, everything connected with the body is temporary, I'm eternal. That itself is a very liberated feeling. Some people may get stuck in that itself, but know that that is required but not sufficient. That understanding of soul is required but not sufficient. Not sufficient. Why? Because we have still not understood the concept of super soul. We have still not understood the relationship between soul and super soul, and we have still not understood the duties that the soul has towards the super soul. So this hand in by itself is a complete unit. Everything is there. There are 5 fingers, nails, the skin is all right, strength is there. But when this hand is chopped off from this body, even though looking complete, this hand is useless. Hand has its utility. Hand can be utilized only provided it is connected to the body and it is able to serve the body. It is able to put food into the mouth, and from there it goes into the stomach, and then from stomach it gets digested, and then the hand gets nourishment. So hand's nourishment depends on hand's cooperation with the body. If hand refuse to cooperate with the body, hand will suffer miserably, and that's how that's what is been happening with the people in this world. They are suffering because they are not cooperating with God. So So having got our current body, we are what where why this is why this knowledge that we are spirit soul is not sufficient, because at a bodily level, there are certain demands. The moment you get a car, you need to put petrol in it. You need to check the tire pressure, the air pressure in tire. The regular mechanic has to come and repair the car from time to time. Every now and then, it will need to be fed with fuel. So the moment you get a car, the maintenance starts. So similarly, the moment you get a body, the maintenance starts, and there are various demands. Car need rest, body also need rest, body needs sleep, car needs petrol fuel, body needs food, body. So there are so many ways in which this body keep demanding various things. You need sleep, the body becomes hungry. Body lives after hunger and sleep. You need some clothing to move around in the world. You want to sleep at time, and then you need a proper place where you can sleep peacefully without getting without anybody attacking you. So you need some protection, you need entertainment, and over and above all of that, you need some love. A soul uh, is craving for love, being loved. He wants to love, and he wants being loved. He wants waiting for somebody to love him, and he's also waiting to he love someone else. So there are demands that are there, and one has to work hard to meet these demands, because having got one's body, one cannot ignore these demands. One cannot function without action. So to meet the demands of the body, one has to act in this material world. Sometimes voluntarily, sometimes involuntarily. The breathing, digestions are involuntary actions. Even if we don't know they are happening, they are happening, and we realize this. When our oxygen level drops, then we realize our breathing is not happening properly, and then we are given external oxygen. Sometimes we are put onto the ventilator. So then we realize it. Digestion also similar. When it doesn't work, uh, then we suddenly realize it's not functioning, and then we try to correct it by taking right medicine. So knowingly, unknowingly, we are always doing something or the other for the maintenance of this body. So there are selfish desires. All of us have come here for certain purpose, and those purposes are not to serve God. We have not come here with that goal in life. Our purpose is to have we have some selfish purpose. We want to enjoy, or we want to control. This controllership and enjoyment and controller shape are the two primary causes for which we are taking birth. Both these things are Krishna's properties. Both these things are Krishna's specialities. And a individual soul also wants to do those things. And this is where this happens out of envy. Happens out of our envious nature towards Krishna. And this is precisely the reason why we end up coming into this material world. Ichha dvesha samutthena dvandva mohena bharata. In the seventh chapter, Krishna will reveal that because of various desires of sense gratification, enjoyment, and dvesha, because Krishna is the ultimate enjoyer, Krishna is the ultimate controller, and as an individual soul, I may not like that. I also want to become enjoyer and controller in my own way, and then I no longer can stay in the spiritual world, because I have developed envy towards Krishna. In that state, I'm sent back to the material world, and my journey in the material world begin with ichha dvesha. So selfish desires. To fulfill those selfish desires, we act. And when we act for selfish purpose, we are acting under one of the modes. We are acting under sattva, rajo, or tamo guna. And when action happens under the influence of these gunas, it produces a fruit or a reaction. The reaction may result in either we getting a suffering or enjoyment, as the case might be. So for these sufferings and enjoyments becomes our bondage, because we must accept them. We can't escape. We can't escape these enjoyments. We can't escape these sufferings also. So this becomes the root cause. This becomes the bondage. And in order to suffer and enjoy for our fruits which are accumulated, we are forced to take another body, because this can be experienced only in human body, or some kind of a body in the material world. So that's how we get caught in the cycle of repeated birth and repeated death. Now we are when we are acting in the material world, we already know that we have accepted this body which is made up of 8 elements. Now all 8 elements are borrowed from the material world, borrowed from the material world. They're not the soul by in itself doesn't need any of this. The soul has eyes of its own, soul has a mind of its own. But in order to function in this material world, it needs this material elements. Just like when we go underwater, we have eyes, but we need goggles to see underwater, because it's not that we don't have eyes, but when you go underwater, your normal eyes will not function. Similarly, when soul has eyes, but when soul wants to see in the material world, so this is a foreign land for us. This is a foreign land for us. So we belong to spiritual world where soul can see without having these material eyes. But when soul is in the material world, in the foreign territory, unknown territory, alien territory, soul needs material equipments to function in this world. So soul gets a material body using which it functions, it interacts with the matter in this world. Soul gets mind using which it expresses its desire. The soul has to act through the gate of mind in this material world. So mind is also material. Individual intelligence is also material, and false ego that I'm this body, even that is material. So soul, so these elements are taken from the nature, utilized by during the lifetime, and returned to the nature. Mind, intelligence, and false ego is carried forward to the next body. Ultimately, when soul gets liberated, goes back to the material world, spiritual world, the soul will return this mind intelligence also, mind intelligence and false ego also in this material world, and then it will go back to the spiritual world with pure consciousness. So all these 8 elements are borrowed from the material world. Similarly, the food we eat, the home we stay in, the the car we possess, the everything in this material world is again taken from this nature. Water, be it sunlight, water, wind, and everything else, our crops, our food grains, fruits, flowers, whatever we want is borrowed from the nature. All our necessities for life are actually taken from the nature. And in the nature, these necessities are supplied by demigods. These demigods who work under the supervision of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. So everything is owned and controlled by Krishna. So when we borrow these things from them, from him, uh, it is obvious to feel grateful. The attitude, the gratitude, the humility and gratitude can come into one's mind. That's very natural to feel grateful towards Krishna, that he's supplying us with so much. I'm taking so much from him. I'm so much dependent on him. And unconditionally, he's just giving me everything, all the facilities. The sun rises, the moon rises, the season changes, the wind blows, there is a fire available, there is a nice mangoes available, the fruits available, the grains are available. I manipulate this matter and I am able to produce so much grain, and I'm able to feed myself. I'm able to live happily in this material world basis the all the supplies that I'm taking from the world, for which and for all of these supplies I'm not paying anybody to anything, because Krishna has been giving them for free. He's been giving me all of this for free. So so there is a so one understand this aspect, then one naturally feels very humble in front of such person who is giving us so much, and we are takers, they are givers. And there is a natural humility that one experiences in his presence. So and in that mood, we are expected to offer everything to Krishna before we consume. We seek his permission that we are taken this from your nature, from your element. Using your elements, we have cooked this plate of food. Uh, Please allow me to consume it. Please allow me to consume it. So everything, the clothes we wear, the home we stay in, the car we drive, the job we do, the everything, the computers that we use, everything is created, manipulated by us. Of course, we are given some ability to manipulate matter and make laptop, or make a television, or make a car, make something. But essentially we are just taking these elements from nature and manipulating it, and creating it for our convenience. Essentially we are not creating any of those elements, we are just using those elements. And those elements are being supplied by Krishna. The gold is supplied by Krishna, diamonds are supplied by Krishna, oceans are supplied by Krishna, rivers are supplied by Krishna, crop is supplied by Krishna, rain happens because of Krishna, sun rises because of Krishna, wind comes because of Krishna, moon rises because of Krishna. Everything is given by Krishna. So it's been very natural for us to become humble and grateful towards Krishna if we understand this. So it's a basic at one level, it is basic etiquette that we must follow, even what that must be followed even by the non-devotees, to offer it to Krishna, to seek Krishna's permission. By offering, we seek Krishna's permission that I have taken everything from you. Now I'm using it for my enjoyment, my own consumption. So please allow me. So it's basic etiquette that if you come to my home, or if I go to your home, and if I start collecting elements of things from your home, and I start using it for my own benefit, it will be apt for me to offer to seek your permission before I do that, because it's your home. So similarly, when we seek permission from Krishna for consumption, for our own enjoyment, we are not doing a favor on Krishna. We are simply seeking his permission because everything belongs to him. So by learning Bhagavad Gita, when we offer it to Krishna, when we seek his permission in this way, we do it out of love, because we know how lovingly Krishna is supplying with all this, and we reciprocate his love by becoming his devotee. So this is called bhakti, or devotion service. And this cycle of sacrifice is very important. And hence, Krishna recommends Arjuna that you should also follow the same for setting right example. However, the selfish desires that we have, lusty desires that we have, they can prevent us from following the above cycle of sacrifice. We can become envious towards Krishna. If we don't have right attitude, then we will become envious of Krishna, and then the above cycle will stop. And when that cycle stops, the the resultant fruits are not very pretty. They can bring upon us a lot of suffering. So hence this selfish desires or lust is called biggest enemy of the devotees. It's situated in senses, mind and intelligence, and not in the sense object. There was one song that Nasha Sharab mein hota to nachati bottle. So alcohol is only a trigger. But if you have desire for alcohol consumption, those exist in the senses, mind, and the intelligence. So alcohol per se is not a problem. Problem lies with us. So we have to purify our consciousness. We have to purify our senses, purify our mind, purify our intelligence, and thereby we have to win this inner battle of controlling anarthas. This is most important for us to be able to function and survive, function properly in this world. This inner battle must be conquered. And hence, such knowledge, Krishna says, I have given this knowledge to the sun god because this is important knowledge. And hence, I have been giving this knowledge from time and time again. So I gave originally to sun god this knowledge at the beginning of the creation. And from him, it has been passed on to the other generation in disciplic succession. However, in the course of time, it seems that the knowledge is lost, and hence I'm making Arjuna, Krishna is saying, I'm making you to be the first recipient of this knowledge. Why? Because you are qualified to understand, because you are not envious of me. You are my devotee, bhaktosi me sakha cheti. Therefore, you will be able to understand this rahasyam eva etada uttamam. So, to understand Krishna, let's give up our competitive mentality towards Krishna. Let's give up our envy towards Krishna. Let's give up our desire to become mini Krishna. Let's accept him as our supervisor, as superior, and let's accept us to be his subordinate. And in that mode, let's humbly start accepting his instructions for our own benefit. Later, Krishna will give a very brief introduction about himself that he is not ordinary. He doesn't belong to this world. In fact, he is the owner, controller, and lord of this whole world, including demigods. So his appearance and his activities are divyam, are transcendental, and anyone who understands this can become his devotee, become his pure devotee. And in that way, in that mode, when they perform devotional service throughout lifetime, they can attain Krishna at the end of their lifetime by attaining Krishna by mercy of Krishna. By go back to Krishna, did not take birth in this Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam anymore. So those who don't attain Krishna, they will be forced to come accept another body and continue with their journey in this material world. Now, this is not Krishna's partiality, it is his reciprocity. Why? Because he is a person and he can reciprocate. He give equal opportunity for to everyone to become his pure devotee and come back to him. Some accept it, some reject it. So everyone is on his path. Some has their faces turned towards Krishna, those who have become his devotee. And when they take every step, they go closer to Krishna. Those others who have their back towards Krishna, and when they take every step, they go away from Krishna. Last Sunday we discussed about the Varnashram. Chaturvarnyam maya shrishtam gunakarma vibhagashah tasya kartasya kartaram api mam vidya kartaram vyayam. So we discussed this verse in detail, that how Krishna has created this four divisions in society, and but he's not involved in those. He's not trying to claim credit of those. Next verses he will elaborate on the same point, that namam karmani limpanti name karma phale spruha iti mam yo abhijanati karma bhirna sabadhyate. Karma Yeah, karmabhir sabadhyate. There is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. One who understands this truth about me also does not become entangled in the fruitive reactions of this verse. So this verse is similar to the Janma Karma Chami Divyam, that verse where Krishna says that no, you will not take birth again. The one who understand the transcendental nature of my janma and karma will not take birth again in this material world. So similarly, Krishna is saying in this world or verse also that if you understand that the work, no work that affects me, nor do I aspire. Name karma phale spruha. Spruha means desire, any fruits of action. Anybody who understands this will also become free, will not get entangled from the fruitive reactions. Prabhupada writes in the purport that he explained this point. What is Krishna really trying to say? That as there are constitutional laws in the material world stating that the king can do no wrong, or that the king is not subject to the state laws. Similarly, the Lord, although he is the creator of this material world, is not affected by the activities of the material world. He creates and remains aloof from creation, whereas the living entities are entangled in the fruitive results of material activities because of their propensity for lording it over material resources. So this is the root cause. Why? Because we have desire to enjoy and control. And because of that, and that Prabhupada will explain in the subsequent next paragraph. So what Prabhupada is trying to say is that Krishna, although he has created this material world and the laws with which this material world is functioning, those laws are also created by Krishna. He is outside the scope of those laws. He's created them, so everything is under him. He is not impacted by those laws. He is not obliged to follow those laws. So he can break those laws anytime and without seeking anybody's permission. He can break any law, and there are and that's all right. Nothing will happen to him. He is not answerable to anybody. So that's why when he wants, he lift Govardhan Hill. When he wants, he just left Govardhan Hill. Now, Govardhan today is also a 22-kilometer radius a hill, a mountain. So at that time, Govardhan was huge. The whole of Braj could come under it. And he held it for 7 days and 7 nights. Now, which 7-year-old boy can lift something like this? So he's breaking the law of nature, the breaking the gravity, um, center of gravity. You need to hold any object, you need to find the center of gravity so that the balancing can happen. Now, center of gravity, the gravity is servant of Krishna. So the wherever Krishna touched that hill, the gravity went and sat there. The whole hill was balanced, no problem at all. So, so Krishna, we see in Krishna Leela, uh, he generally try to follow the rules that he has created, but whenever he wants, he break those rules and no question asked, because he is the one who has created those rules. Who will? So when Yamaraj says the Ajamil was a third class sinful person, and therefore Yamadutas came there. Yamadutas went there to take his soul to the hell. He's a perfect candidate, fit candidate for hell. He's doing all kind of wrong activities. But because he chanted Narayana at the time of giving up his body, he remembered Narayana, even though he said Narayana with reference to his son, youngest son, but the word Narayan came out of his mouth at the time when Yamadutas were pulling out his soul. Immediately, Lord sent Vishnu Dutas over there, and Vishnu Dutas stopped Yamdutas. And there was a big argument that took place where Yamdutas actually said that what are you doing? Why you look all right people, good people, but why are you stopping activities of Dharmaraj, who is Yamraj? Why you're interfering in his work? And then the Vishnu Dutas explained that because he's taken name of Narayana, he is outside your jurisdiction and the jurisdiction of your boss also. And they felt offended. Yamadutas actually feels offended, goes back to Yamadaraj and explains him the whole incidents. And then he says, is it, what are they saying? How could they stop us? Do you also have a boss? We used to think you are the boss. It seems you are not the final authority. It seems you also seems to have somebody who is your authority. We haven't seen him yet, but what happened today, they could easily stop us, and we were not in a position to argue or fight with them in any way because they were they so tell us, what is this? What is this happening? What is happening? And then Yamaraj explains that dharmam to sakshat bhagavat pranita. Whatever Krishna will speak, whatever God will speak, that becomes dharma. So whatever Krishna does, there is no questions asked. And so he can do anything. He can, Sandipani Muni wanted his son back. He went to the abode of Yamaraj, brought his son back. Devaki wanted to see all her children, six children. He brought them back. So whatever he wanted to do, he was breaking rules. He was generally trying to follow the rules, but he was breaking all rules also. And no questions asked, because whatever he will do becomes dharma. So dharma is his servant. He's not he's not below dharma. Dharma is not above Krishna. um, Dharma is under Krishna. The Prakriti is under Krishna. Maya Devi is under Krishna. And Krishna will follow those rules whenever he wants to, and he can break those rules whenever he feels like. No questions asked. That's what Prabhupada explained, that king is above law. He's not affected. He's created those laws. He's not affected by those laws. So, similarly, Krishna is not affected by the laws of this material world. He creates them and he stay aloof from them. The living entities are engaged. Prabhupada explains why living entities get entangled. The living entities are engaged in their respective activities of sense gratification, and these activities are not ordained by the Lord for advancement of sense gratification. For Prabhupada writes this very beautiful word, for advancement of sense gratification, the living entities are engaged in the work in this world, of this world, and they aspire to have heavenly happiness after death. So nowadays, though, people are trying to create heavenly happiness even in this world itself. Why after death? So, so they are trying to build cities and homes in such a way that they look heavenly. There is heavenly pleasures available, made available into the people. So that's that these are the aspiration of the people with which people are working. Now these aspirations are not given by Krishna. They are self-manifested, self-created by the living entities. And therefore, the suffering that comes to them, Krishna is not responsible. So the sufferings, when they engage themselves in a horrible karma because of which they get suffering, Krishna is not responsible for the same. The Lord Boy, being full in himself, has no attraction for so called heavenly happiness. The heavenly demigods are only his engaged servants. The proprietor never desires the low grade happiness such as the workers may desire, his worker may desire. So Prabhupada is distinguishing and re-establishing Krishna's position vis-a-vis demigods, vis-a-vis other living entities, so that it becomes clear that when we talk about Krishna, who are we talking about? He is way above, way above, way above every one of us, way above all the demigods, including Indra, Brahma, Shiva. And because he's above all of them, he's superior to all of them. Everyone is inferior to him. Everyone should then subordinate to his instructions also. So that's the message Prabhupada is trying to give. In the 15th verse, Krishna is saying that evam gyatva kritam karma purver api mumukshubhihi kuru karmeva tasmatvam purve purvataram kritam. That all the liberated souls in the ancient times acted with this understanding of my transcendental nature. Therefore, you should perform your duty following their footsteps, giving the same message that follow the footsteps of devotees and find out devotees, have a good strong connect with them, seek their guidance and follow their footsteps, and then that's how you will be saved. Otherwise all your endeavors can be lost. This is bhakti cannot be performed alone. Aikantaki harer bhakti utpata eva kalpate. You become utpata, you become mess, you can mess up very easily if you try to do it all alone. Doesn't work, does not work, and will not work. So stay in association of devotees, call devotees, talk to devotees, explain them, seek their guidance. Devotee, there's nothing greater than devotee association in the process of devotional service, bhakti. 16th verse, Kim karma, kim akarmeti, kavayo pyatra mohitaha. Tate karma pravakshyami yadgyatva mokshase shubhat. So, beautiful verse. Kim karma, kim akarmeti. This is going to be the topic of rest of the discussion that we are going to focus upon. Even the intelligent are bewildered in determining what is action and what is inaction. Now I shall explain to you what action is, knowing which you shall be liberated from all misfortune. So Krishna is trying to catch attention of all of his audience. Just like we sometimes students sometimes teachers say something to get attention of the student, that so this is something very difficult, but now I'm going to explain to you, so now please pay attention. It is difficult. A lot of people have not understood it correctly, but I can explain to you. And that's why this is my expertise, that I'm going to be able to explain you this. So now please pay attention for next 1 hour, because I'm going to give you something very, very special. So please pay attention. So this is how Krishna is also catching attention of from Arjuna. And when they speak this verse, and then speaks this another beautiful verse, that karmano yah api bodhavyam cha vikarmanaha akarmanascha bodhavyam gahana karmano gatihi. The intricacies of action are very hard to understand. Therefore, one should know properly what action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is. What action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is. So this is going to be the topic for rest of our discussion of the class. So let's go through the purport, and then let's go through the rest of the verse. If one is serious about liberation from material bondage, one has to understand the distinction between action, inaction, and unauthorized actions. To understand Krishna consciousness and action according to its modes, one has to learn one's relationship with the Supreme. One who has learned perfectly knows that every living entity is an eternal servitor of the Lord, and that consequently one has to act in Krishna consciousness. What is Jivera Swarupa Hai? Krishnera Nitya Das. That we are the hand, Swarupa is to serve the body. One can understand this easily, but when it comes to the relationship between the living entities and the Supreme Lord, we find it very difficult to digest. That I'm servant, am I servant of someone? Why should I become servant? Why can't I become master and other become my servant? Why can't I enjoy? Why I need to provide enjoyment to Krishna? The hand, imagine this hand starts thinking like this. What mess it will create for one's body. Both hands, if they stop functioning in that way, to cooperate with the body, both hands will eventually get will not get the nourishment. So everyone will suffer, the body will suffer, and then the hand will suffer, and nobody will be happy. So, so Prabhupada explains that one's relationship with the Supreme, one who has learned perfectly knows that every living entity is an eternal servitor of the Lord, and that consequently one has to act in Krishna consciousness. So, this is the ultimate ultimate message that Bhagavad Gita is driving. The entire Bhagavad Gita is directed towards this conclusion. Any other conclusions against this consciousness and its attendant actions and are vikarmas. So or prohibited actions. So anything contrary to this understanding, if anybody try to say anything or do anything other than service of Krishna, other than service to Krishna, is forbidden action. Everything should be done in our capacity as a servants of Krishna. Every action in this world should be performed in our capacity as a servant of Krishna. We should always remember that we are servants of Krishna. In that mood only we should act in this world. And any action in any other consciousness is a forbidden action, or a vikarma, or a prohibited action. So there are three concepts primarily that's what we are talking about. Let's analyze this a little bit further. So the karma in general has two. two outcomes. Sometimes karma produces a reaction, and some karmas, a karma especially, that is referred to as in this verse, is one such action which does not produce any reaction. So karma is bifurcated in two broad categories: one that produces action, and second one, the one which does not produce any action. So you're performing actions which are not going to produce any reactions. Now, what produces action also can be further bifurcated into sukarma and vikarma. Okay, so karma, which is those type of actions which are going to produce reactions. The reactions can be of two types. One is sukarma, will give good reactions, will result into enjoyments. A vikarma will give bad reactions, will bring sufferings upon us. Okay, so karma, first level of classification is produce reaction, do not produce reaction, or akarma. Those who produce reactions have two subcategories, sukarma and vikarma. Good reactions, bad reactions. Good reactions leads to enjoyment, bad reactions lead to suffering. What is its relevance to us? So when we face problems in life, our general reaction, we want to understand why it's happening. If you're sitting in office, uh, everything is working fine, you're working to your desk, suddenly somebody comes and slaps you on your face. Now, um, the instant reaction, the question that will come to your mind is why? Why? Because uh, we understand in it, the innate understanding that we have is everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. So if something is bad happening, the immediate question that comes to our mind is why? When someone is facing a lot of reversals in lives, when someone is coming across a lot of obstacles in life, बहुत difficulties से कोई गुजर रहा है, at physical level, health issues, finance issues, mental level, depression, relationship issues, all kind of issues people go through. Um, at times they really raise a question: why it's happening? Why at all such things are taking place? What have I done uh, to be able to get this kind of a reaction? Now, which are natural questions that comes to our mind. Why bad thing happens to good people? The possible explanations are it's all happening by chance. Second possible explanation can be it's God's will. God wants you to suffer. It's God's will, whatever Krishna wants. Uh, third thing can be it could be happening under a law of karma. Now, chance. Now, chance is something that we don't believe in that. Theoretically, also, even if we don't believe in God, we we understand that nothing in this world happened by chance. Even the most atheist will tell his children to brush their teeth. Even though there is a evidence contrary available. What is the contrary evidence? People brush teeth throughout their life very regularly, very diligently, and still they have toothache, and they have to go and see a dental doctor. And we know certain people, they don't brush their teeth. They really don't take good care of their teeth. And, they also come across dental issues. They also go to a doctor. So tell me one thing. Most of you would have gone to a dentist. All 90 of you, most of you would have gone to a dentist, and some of you must be really diligent in taking care of your teeth, whatever as per whatever has been told to you, been doing brush twice a day, use this kind of a paste, use that kind of a paste, polish, massage your teeth like this, don't eat after so and so time, must be taking all care. And despite of that, you end up seeing a doctor. And those who don't take any care, they also go and end up seeing a doctor. So if you were to advise somebody, now we have evidence, contrary evidence available, that those who take care of teeth also gets toothache, also get some dental problem, and those who don't take care of their teeth, they also will face dental problems. So as an advisor to a child, what will be your advice? Brush teeth or don't brush teeth? Take care of your teeth or don't take care of teeth? Because no matter what you do, you will end up seeing a doctor. So even atheistic people also believe that there is order in this world. There is order. Nothing happens by chance. Okay, so there is order in this world. So even they will advise their children to brush their teeth because they see they all would like to believe that there is a cause and effect relationship that exists. Even though the contrary evidence is available, we still believe innate believe in this belief is in us that there is a cause and effect relationship. Nothing happens without a reason. So that nothing will happen by chance. Okay, so if some suffering is coming to me today, it's not coming by chance. It is coming for some reason. Now, what could be that reason? Second aspect can be God's will. Maybe God is have a grudge against me. Maybe this God, whoever he might be, doesn't like my face. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's against Marathi people, or he's against Indians. He wants Indians to suffer, while and Americans to enjoy. Maybe this God is probably a Britisher who hates everyone. So, uh, so there is this explanation that God, there is a the God is God want us to suffer is not a very good explanation. Why? Because the God is all fair. If all scriptures tell us to love God, I can't love someone who is unfair. We can't, nobody can love such a person who is unfair. So God, if he's if he expect people to love him, at least he should be fair. An unfair person will not be loved by anyone. Today he will put you down, tomorrow he will lift you up. We want predictability, we want consistency, we want fairness, and hence God being God is making us suffer is not a very good explanation, because we would like to believe God is fair because we want to love him. So God's desiring us to suffer is not a very good explanation. The third possible explanation for our suffering can be law of karma. Now, this is where we all believe, there is an innate belief inside us that everything happens for a reason. So if you're sitting in office working at your desk and someone comes and slaps you, the question that will come to your mind is, why are you doing it? Whether you can do something about it or not is a secondary question, but the question why will immediately come to your mind. Why are you doing it? What did I do to you because of which you are doing this? So question comes from the innate belief that soul has that nothing happens without a reason. Nothing happens by chance. Nothing happens in an arbitrary way. If someone is coming and hitting me, it could be because of something that I might have done to that person, or could be due to some misunderstanding that he would have had or she would have had. So the cause and effect relationship is the existence of cause and effect relationship is there with which we function in the world. And that explanation is most logical explanation. That whatever happens in our life is a reaction of our own good or bad karma. Now, this could be present karma or past karma. Not we learn from Bhagavad Gita that not everything, even in or even our life also. Sometimes you slap someone and that someone slap you back. This is like instant reaction. Okay, there is a cause, there is an effect. Because you slapped that person, he slapped you back. But sometimes we get we eat food, a lot of food at dinner, and next day we suffer with indigestion. So there is the when we are eating, um, it doesn't there are no signs of indigestion. That comes 8 hours later, 9 hours later. So while eating, we're just happily eating, and 9 hours later, we get nausea, we get all kind of signs of indigestion, and we feel terrible. So there is a delayed reaction. Sometimes we see these delayed reactions can come after few months, after few years also, and after few lifetimes also. Uh, a typical example is a person, 92-year-old person comes to a TV studio with a cigar in his hand and says that he came for an interview, and then the interviewer asks him, has no one told you that smoking is injurious to your health? And he says, yes, many doctors tried telling me this. Most of those are dead. And he's 92, he's still smoking. So there is no reaction. He has not experienced any reaction. He says there is no reaction. But sometimes we see people smoke and they get cancer towards the end of their life. But we see that people smoke throughout their life and then they die of some other reason, not but cancer. So but we also see that some children do get diagnosed with cancer at the age of 5 and 6 and 10, and they have very short span of life. They give up their bodies very quickly. So, so we see that sometimes the reactions comes with a delay, and that is understandable. That is understandable from examples that we discuss. That it happens that not all reactions will be instant. Some reactions will be delayed. Some reactions can have a delay of few hours, few days, few months, few years, or in fact, few lifetimes. Dhritarashtra had to wait for 50 lifetimes to earn punya to be able to give birth to 100 children, 100 sons. So, and then those sons had to die in front of his eyes. Because those 50 birds, 50 birds ago, he killed 100 children of a bird. So he got his reaction. So, so the whole point is there is a cause and there is an effect. Okay, there is a cause and then there is an effect. Nothing happens without cause. If we see effect, we have to understand the cause exists somewhere. Cause exists somewhere. So but while we are acting, so it is two-way process. When I'm performing an action, it is very difficult to understand when a reaction of this action will come to me. When I'm doing any action, good, bad, ugly, it is very difficult to understand when exactly this reaction will come to me. Similarly, when I'm getting some reactions, it is difficult to pinpoint that reaction to a particular set of action that we perform in past, maybe in this lifetime or previous lifetimes. And because there is a multi lifespan involved, multiple lives possibility exist over which these actions and reactions would occur. Um, it is impossible for anybody other than Krishna to understand in complete way the cycle of the cause and effect, the cause and effect relationship, co-relationship. And therefore Krishna says that know that it's very difficult to understand. It's practically impossible for a living entity to determine which action is leading to which reaction and when he's going to get it. Similarly, which reaction that he's getting today is due to which action in past, because of which he's getting that reaction. For a normal brain of a living entity, it is ununderstandable, incomprehensible, unpenetrable knowledge without seeking help from Krishna. So this is where we are. So then, and that's why, uh, even though philosophically law of karma makes a lot of sense, but practically when we are in the middle of a problematic situation, the practical application becomes difficult. The practical application at times can become difficult. In real life, things become very complex. When we um, when we get what we get is always a result of both our past and our present karma. And it's not difficult to identify what is what, which is which becomes the really the cause of confusion for a person who is in the middle of a mess. Many diseases, the heart attacks, cancer, a common cause of death amongst people. Again, some people lead a bad lifestyle but don't get these diseases, and some lead a very healthy lifestyle and still end up getting these diseases. The weight gain, weight loss is a common issue. A lot of people say that they don't eat much but still end up gaining a lot of weight, which they find it very difficult to get rid of. And they say that some people eat all day and never put on even a gram of extra weight. So what is what leads to what is very confusing in this world. And for everything there is a contrary evidence available. Vegetarian adapt vegetarian diet to live long. And the contrary to this is we see that people in many Eastern countries, they live long having eaten all kind of meat. Japan, the lifespan of 100 years is very normal in Japan, and they eat meat all night, day night. So which statement is correct? How do we make sense of life? And how do we determine what course of action then we should take? So all of that becomes very difficult because of this mixture of what we get is a mix from both the past and present karma. It makes the practical application of knowledge of law of karma very difficult. So take another example. Two people are playing mridanga. Okay. one is One has practiced mridanga for say many days, many months, more than thousands and 500 hours he's learned mridanga, and one has just picked up mridanga a day back, 2 3 days back he started learning. Now both persons are doing the same action, but both persons will get different appreciation. The first one who has been playing mridanga for a long time, his action may be appreciated by people. बहुत अच्छा बजा रहा है, बहुत अच्छे से बजा रहा है. The other person who is also doing the same thing, trying to do the same thing, may not get any appreciation. In fact, he may be People may criticize him कि कैसे बजा रहा है, कुछ आता नहीं है इसको. So the same action is going to get a different reaction. In fact, opposite reactions, opposite results. For the same present action, you're getting opposite reactions, opposite results. Now, this is happening because of the influence of the past. Because one person has practiced playing Mridanga for 500,000 hours, he's getting praise. While the other person who has just started learning is not getting any praise. In fact, he may get criticism also for not playing it properly. So, same action, opposite reactions. Another example, you may slap someone without any reason, and that other person slaps you back. So you get suffering is clearly due to present karma. Here, our suffering, we can find a good, effective correlationship between the very strong correlationship between the action and reaction. That I'm getting this reaction because of this action. I'm able to pinpoint on that this thing that my present karma was bad, and hence I'm getting bad reaction also today. But many times, as we discussed, this correlationship is really not available. And that's where things become very complex. So we have a graph. On one side, we have positive present actions. And the other side, we have negative present actions. Okay. Positive present actions, negative present actions. On the other side, we have positive past actions. In past, we have done good karma and negative past actions. Okay. So positive present action, positive past actions, negative present actions, and negative past actions. We will talk about four characters and put them into these respective buckets and classify them in these buckets. And then we'll go on analyzing um, why why we are putting them here. Okay. So we have Vidura. Okay, Vidura, we are putting him in positive present actions and negative past actions. Okay. So whatever his life is the outcome of this combination. He's affected by the combination. These two combinations have affected his life. Pandavas, we are putting in the positive past actions as well as positive present actions. So, positive past actions will give him certain advantages in life, and positive present actions will create a assured future for him in for them in the as well. So, positive past action results in my present, and positive present action creates my favorable future. Okay. Duryodhan is in the other bracket where he's where his where his where his past actions were probably positive, and but his present actions are negative. And Dhritarashtra, we are putting him in the last bracket where negative side. So where his past actions are also negative, present actions are also negative. Let's analyze them a little further. The Pandavas were born in royal families. So Pandavas is an example. We say that positive present actions and positive past karma also. It's basically actions we relate them with karma. Because their karma in past was good, they were given birth in a royal family. They were all given good qualities, good skills, good abilities, and they were all champion warriors of their time. So all of these, they make them special. And all of these is a result of their good past karma. They were tejasvi, they were looking very good, they have physical beauty, they have so many skills. They have, I mean, they had everything. They probably were like perfect people. Born in royal families, very lot of riches they had. They have a lot of devotion towards Lord. So everything, they were checking all the boxes. Whatever you desire in life, everything was there for them. So all of that was there right from birth. So that was due to their good, positive past karma. What are their present actions? Using this facility, they engage always in the devotional service. They acted as per dharma. Given all the facility, they acted as per dharma, as per the instructions of Krishna and Brahmanas. Dharmaraj, Yudhishthir, Arjun, Bhim, everyone was so, they were in love with Krishna. They were Krishna, they accepted Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead. And they were always under the protection of Krishna and Brahmanas and Dharma, the Krishna, Dharma, and Brahmana. They were always follow the instructions of Dharma, Brahmana, and Krishna. So their present actions during their lifetime were also positive. So this is a best case situation where all their past actions were good and their present actions are also good. Duryodhan had good past actions, because of which he also got a birth in the royal family. Like similar to Pandavas, he also were given good facility, good starting point, but his present actions were negative, were adharmic in nature. So while Pandavas properly utilize the same facility which Duryodhan got, both of them got the same facility. They got the same start. They got birth in the same family, same dynasty. And but both utilize their facilities in different ways. Pandavas utilize their facilities positively, while Duryodhana utilized this facility for negatively. So all his actions, all his plans were adharmic in nature. So he had a good positive past but bad present actions. Vidura, on the other hand, had negative past actions. Negative past actions, because of which he was, even though he was a brother of Dhritarashtra, he never got the same respect and authority that you would expect uh, that a brother of a king would get. He was a Dasi Putra. And though he's so he by birth, by start, he his position was not very much appreciated. Nobody took him seriously. Even though he was an advisor to the royalty, he gave very sane advice. Uh, his advice was ignored by people. Nobody took him seriously, and because he was not in a position of authority, he couldn't do much. He couldn't do a lot of good, even though he wanted to. So, because of his past negative karma, the facility that he got was not as good as it should have been. But his present karma was all good. Even though he was a Dasiputra, he was extremely intelligent person and he was a wonderful devotee of Lord Krishna. So all his present karma was positive, and because of which he got mercy from Lord. Lord would go to Hastinapur and would stay at his home. Lord would visit his home without unannounced. Lord would eat at his home. He would sleep there, rest there. Um, he would conduct his confidential meetings in Vidura's home. So he considered Vidura as my own. He was in love with Vidura, and Vidura also loved Krishna similarly. So Vidura also loved Pandava similarly, and he protected them in every possible way. So all positive, or his present actions were all positive, but his past actions were negative, because of which he did not got the same facility, same authority with which he could have made a difference. Last is Dhritarashtra. He's had a bad past karma and also bad present karma. Dhritarashtra was blind by birth. Is an example of having born with misfortune and continue to act miserably as he failed in his duty as a king as well as his father, as a father. He could not prevent war. He could not convince, he could not even speak to Duryodhana about giving up 5 villages to Pandavas and avoiding war. He failed in his capacity as a king, as a father, both. He was not only physically blind, he was spiritually blind as well. So, so all his endeavors became a waste. Um, so he misused everything. So he's an example of a negative past karma and negative present karma also. How do we make sense of this? So Uh, so the positive, the Pandavas are in the best case scenario. Okay. Uh, this is Duryodhan, while Pandavas are in the best case scenario. Uh, Vidura is next best. Why? Because even though he doesn't have a lot of facility, but he's still acting in a positive way. He's still performing devotional service. The facility for that you get in this world is a result of your past karma. Because of his past karma was not as good as it should have been, he's got a lesser facility to perform devotional service. But still, he is here. We should at least be here. If not here, we should at least be here. He's performing devotional service despite of not having very conducive, favorable situation in life. So if not here, we should be here. We should avoid to be in this place, in the place where Dhritarashtra is. Dhritarashtra is having got a negative, because of negative past karma, he got very unfavorable condition. He's blind by birth and he's got very um, so he doesn't have much skills. So that is indication of you having not a very favorable past karma. But what you can control is your present karma. Unfortunately, Dhritarashtra's present karma were also pathetic. So this is the worst situation to be in, where our bad past karma and bad present karma. This makes our future also bad. This makes our future also becomes horrible because of this. So we should avoid being in this block. If we happen to be here, at least come to the right hand side. At least come to this side where I understand that past karma is bad, but let me start doing good karma now. Sometimes people ask question that how Bhagavad Gita will benefit poor people. Now, poor people by their past karma are born in their in this kind of a condition. They all have very bad past because of bad karma, bad past karma. They get into a very unfavorable situation. They don't have proper home, they don't have physical strength, they don't have physical intelligence, they are not very bright at times, they don't have very healthy bodies, they don't have good living conditions, no money practically, very difficult to survive, very with great difficulties they survive every day. So they have very bad past karma ensures or ensures that they get a very bad start. But what can still be done is what has happened in past cannot be changed. So yeah. So what cannot be changed cannot be changed. But what can be changed, that should be changed. So the bad past karma cannot be changed. But they can be encouraged to do positive present actions. The present actions should be modified. so that their future birth is taken care of. If you continue to do bad past karma, if you get into a bad negative situation yourself because of bad past karma, and if you continue to do bad past karma, present karma also, you create a very horrible future for yourself because your present actions will determine your future. So Dhritarashtra was in this category, and here he could not, he couldn't correct himself. He could not correct his present actions also. If we happen to be here, we should at least try to come here. The fourth one is Duryodhana's block. Now, this is definitely in our control to act positively. Now, if you have a favorable condition, one should try to make understand that by whose mercy we are getting this favorable condition, and we should try to do positive. We should try to perform bhakti, becoming grateful towards Lord who has given us that favorable condition. So so they can easily with devotee association by learning scriptures from this blog, they can easily come to this blog. Okay. Team, if you happen to be in this condition, yeah, so if you happen to be in this condition where our where we are, because of past negative karma, our situation is not very good. We are facing a lot of difficulties in life, lot of reversals, lot of problems, mental problems, health problem, financial problem, relationship problems, all kind of issues I'm grappling with. All of that is because of past karma. Uh, but if I'm still in touch with devotees, I'm in touch with devotees. I'm attending Bhagavad Gita classes. I'm learning about this philosophy. I'm visiting temple. I'm eating prasad. I'm performing positive present karma. So if happen to be in this block, what what we should do? We should tolerate. Tolerate. Why? Because our whatever is coming to us because of bad past karma cannot be changed. So those things will come to us. But despite of that, we should continue with our positive present actions. This will ensure that we create a brighter future for tomorrow. By tolerating, we will continue to be able to perform positive present actions. If we give up tolerance, we may we may switch from this block to this block. Wherever we will give up our positive present actions also. And that will ensure that our future, we end up creating a horrible future for ourselves. So in this block, we need to tolerate. Which is this block? Where we are facing reversals, we are facing difficult situations, one difficulty after another keep coming, and and all of us, most of us will might find ourselves to be in this block also. So here the advice we have is to tolerate and continue to perform positive present actions, continue to remain engaged in performing devotional service. Don't give up bhakti, don't give up japa, don't give up eating prasad. Don't switch to this block. This is horrible. uh, Tolerate, learn to tolerate. Tam sthiti kshasva bharata. Very clear instruction. That's why clear Krishna gave this instruction that he recognized that not everyone will be in this block. People have mixed karma. कर्मा भी मिश्र कर्मा होता है, and because of that a lot of people will end up suffering also in this while they are in this material world, but they should not give up on performing bhakti. So tolerate and continue to perform bhakti. E, if we happen to be here, uh, if we happen to be here, we are very horrible condition in which we live life. We have poverty, we have we are not educated enough, we have poverty stricken, we don't have a lot of skills, कुछ टैलेंट नहीं है, बहुत ज्यादा कुछ आता नहीं है, पैसा नहीं है, पैसा आया तो टिकता नहीं है, हेल्थ भी अच्छी नहीं है. So we have lots of difficulties, lots of negatives on our side. And if we don't feel any encouragement to do anything positive in the present life also. So we continue चोरी चपाटी करते हैं, कुछ गलत करते हैं, गाली गलौज करते रहते हैं, जुआ खेलते हैं, कुछ दारू शराब सिगरेट जो मिला वो ऐश करने की कोशिश करते हैं. और positive present actions are also horrible. Our past is bad, our present is bad. Then we see a lot of people, they beg at signals. If you happen to give them food, they refuse. They said, "Give me money." Why? Because they are attached. They might be wanting to buy some cheap alcohol and drink. They might get access to some charas, ganja, some smoking, some kind of a intoxication which they prefer over food. If you give them prasad, they will not accept. They'll ask for money because they could be addicted to a lot of these things, which is like preventing them from performing good present, positive present actions in the current life also. And that this intoxication, this attachment to all of those horrible things can be there amongst poor people or can be there amongst rich people also. So if we happen to be in this block where because of past karma we are having a lot of reversals in life, a lot of negativity in life, and we are also not doing anything good for our future, we should evacuate to T. We should learn to tolerate and change our activities from negative to positive. Get in association of devotees. Start doing bhakti. Start learning philosophy. With Krishna's mercy, we can understand philosophy. Otherwise, we will not. So if you happen to be in this block, please switch to this block at least, where our present karma can be rectified. We can't change past. That will come. जो sufferings आनी है वो आएंगे in the course of time. But at least change your present so that you have a bright future. The the third one is where Duryodhan was, where you have present negative present karma but positive past karma. Now, because of positive past karma, you've got good facility. Now, this good facility itself becomes an obstacle for us to become good person. You have so much facility, so much money, so much power that people then the all kind of worldly pleasures become available to you at ease. The things for which people have to endeavor, work very hard, you get them, those all become available to you at very easily, and you just lose value for it. Therefore, those who are in this bracket, those who have a lot of money, born in very rich families. They have very good bodily features, a lot of talented, they have lots of talents, lots of skills, very intelligent, very bright. Now, all of this is a result of my good past actions. Now, when you get such a facility, it becomes easy for you to get dragged in performing bad present actions because you may feel practically there is nothing that stops you from doing whatever you want. There is no check and balance. You have so much power, you feel as if you are God. Nobody will ask you anything. So and as long as you're functioning within law, there is no need for you to act in such a way to create your better future. You feel your future is taken care of by your intelligence, by the riches that you have, by the connection that you have, by the power that you have, by the skills that you have, talent that you have. You will ensure that you will take care of that future. So you don't need God. Practically, such people, for them, the need for God itself gets eliminated because of so much facility that is being made available to them by God only. So in this case, just like Duryodhan, a lot of people, uh, their present actions also becomes horrible. They get so easy access to intoxication. They get all kind of, the poor person may drink a cheap wine, and they may end up drinking imported wine. But essentially the activities remains the same. The present actions are horrible. They get so much access to free sex. They get so much access to alcohol, so much access to drugs, so much access to the bodily enjoyments, that they practically forgets the to uh, need to follow any rules of morality and ethics, and they get into um, the horrible spiral of incurring bad present actions that they're not able to come out of it at all at times. So what is the advice for such people? Appreciate what you've got. Appreciate that all that what you have got, it's because of zero contribution from you. It is what you got is because of God's mercy towards you. And when you develop that appreciation for what you've got, it become easy for you to accept instructions from that person who has given you so much, and follow those instructions and perform bhakti. Engage yourself in performance of bhakti. And that was the condition of Pandavas. Pandavas were in this. So this is, if you happen to be here, you should maximize our, this is the best case scenario. In this case, you have to maximize all the facility that you have. The maximize all the facility that you got because of good past karma to perform best possible positive present karma in the current life. So Pandavas could maximize their bhakti, utilize all the facilities, talent, whatever they possess in service of Lord, and thereby they could maximize the facility that is given to them and perfect their life. Tolerate bad past karma. We'll just refresh this again. Bad past karma, but positive present karma. Vidura was in this block. So advice is to tolerate. Tolerate, not much you can do to rectify past action. One should continue to do positive present actions to avoid misfortune in future. Bad past karma and bad present karma is where Dhritarashtra was. Evacuate, evacuate yourself immediately to, by stopping negative present karma, at least get into tolerant zone. The third is Duryodhan, where Duryodhan was in the zone where, because of good past karma, he got very good facility, but his present actions were horrible. So appreciate, develop some appreciation for Lord who has given you this great facility despite of you, and so which you should now utilize it for the service of the Lord. And so that's why develop appreciation and come to the right hand side, where Pandavas were there, and maximize the positive present and positive past karma. We are in the best case situation. Pandavas were in this best scenario, and because of which they could maximize their life, the time lifetime available. They could make best use of bad bargain, make best use of all the facilities that were available to them. So they could maximize. This is the best situation to be in, and Duryodhan could have come to this block, and but because of his attachment to the bad past karma, he continued to remain on the left hand side. This is the most having positive conducive situation due to positive past karma. So also your present karma has been good due to engagement in devotional service in association of devotees by the mercy of God. Take maximum advantage of this situation. So the acronym TEAM is basically, they explain us this aspect. So to summarize, we looked at how it is difficult to um, difficult to define, pinpoint on which action will produce which reaction and which reaction is coming due to which past action. It is this kind of a, this is not comprehensible. This is not understandable by a normal living entity. Hence, it is Gahan. Why it is not understandable? Because it could be because of my immediate present action, just like when you slap someone and that other person slaps you back. There's an easy correlation one can see in action and reaction. Cause and effect is visible, but at times this cause and effect is not visible, and then it becomes confusing. So the philosophically we may understand, but practically we keep raising question, and hence, you know, this topic is gahan. It's not easy to comprehensible. The principle is in understanding that we are responsible for our action. The idea is not to search for that action which gave us this reaction. The idea is like when you get diagnosed with malaria, you know it is due to a mosquito bite. Now, you don't need to search for that mosquito in the city of Mumbai, city of Delhi, in city Hyderabad, Bangalore, wherever you are living, there could be hundreds and crores of mosquitoes there, living there, and you don't need to search that one mosquito because of who gave you this malaria. There's no point in searching for that. Even if you end up searching such mosquito, you can't do much about him. He's already given you malaria. No, no, an intelligent man will work on getting this malaria treated rather than searching for that mosquito. Similarly, this law of karma, there's no point in searching for karma which has led to this negative reaction, which is what we are suffering. Or a particular while doing particular karma, we shouldn't be overly worried of whether it will lead to a positive or a negative reaction. What kind of reaction it will lead to, and when will I get that reaction? So this will paralyze you. This will practically not let you function in the material world. That's not the objective that with which Krishna is explaining this law of karma. The so the objective is basically to understand with conviction that our actions have reactions and we are responsible for our actions. Karma never forgets address. No matter if we are in this body or if we change body, we go to lower or higher species, wherever we might go, karma has ability to come and deliver it to us. Our baggage will get delivered to us, and we should have this knowledge. Now, the whole purpose is to learn this principle that karma exists, the law of karma exists. Law of karma is operational and it will apply upon me also. No matter how much smart I may think I am, no matter how hard I may try to avoid the reactions of karma, it will come and get delivered to me no matter where I might be. And there is no escape, there is no mercy, there is no exception to this rule. So, so this is the principle that we need to learn from discussion of law of karma. What should we do then? It should lead us to learn this principle and rectify our present actions. The rectify our present actions. Now, no matter what situation we might be in favorable situations and we might be in unfavorable situations. So Pandavas were cheated in the game of gambling match and were sent to forest for 13 years and 1 year of Agyatwas. So while they were ruling as kings in Indraprastha, or while roaming around in forest in the very simple clothes, they were always engaged in doing right actions. That is performing devotional service towards Lord Krishna. They always were lovingly serving Krishna in all both the situations. Prahlad Maharaj also, we say that he was constantly serving, remembering Krishna, even at times when his father was trying to kill him. He never gave up his right present karma. The positive present karma was not given up by him. Despite of facing reversals in life, despite of facing difficult situations in life. Now, this is really the lesson for all of us. What is negative situation can be different for different people. For some people, if they have not eaten pizza in last 1 month, they may feel very terrible that I haven't eaten pizza in last 1 month. How terrible my life has become. And for some people, it could be genuinely that they haven't eaten for last couple of days. Getting daily food itself, any kind of food itself, can be a can be an issue for such people. So, that's where our Annadan program actually helps a lot of people in arranging for one meal, and they can save their money and use it for some other better purpose for that one meal. So, for person to person, our difficult situations will be different. And for some, it could be divorce that they are trying to go through. It could be relationship issues with spouse, with children. It could be um, it could be a difficult financial situation that they might find themselves in. It could be difficult health situations that we may find ourselves into from time to time. Despite of trying to do good, despite of trying to perform good activity, it could be some accidents that we may meet, some sudden changes that may occur in our life, which change everything, shook our life, shake our life completely upside down, and so on and so forth. So every life can have different difficulties, different list of difficulties that they are all grappling with. Each person, and it will differ from person to person. So the and if so the advice is to tolerate and continue to perform devotional service. This is what Vidura did. This is what we are the though in a very negative situation that he was in, he continued to love and serve Krishna, and that is the learning that we need to carry out of this. That perform right actions of devotional service under guidance of devotees in present life. This one thing we should not give up, no matter what our condition becomes. If material situation is favorable, then take maximum advantage of it and perform supreme bhakti. Devote yourself for bhakti. If it is not favorable, as we discuss so many problems, then tolerate but continue to perform bhakti. Perform bhakti in every condition and every situation, no matter what. If you give up performance of bhakti, devotional service, then that will be the biggest misfortune that you will bring upon yourself. So, no matter what condition we are in, no matter what situations we are in, we should feel inspired and encouraged to continue to perform bhakti. And that is the success of our life. That will be the success of our life. And to get such inspiration and encouragement, we should have devotees in our life who will, with whom we can seek guidance, who will keep encouraging us to perform bhakti. So it's not that the problems need not be solved. The material problems, whatever will come up, will need to be resolved. The material problems need material solutions. So, but giving up bhakti is definitely not one of those solutions. One should continue to perform devotional service with positive attitude, uh, and at the same time try to mitigate our material situations to make it improve to the best extent that we can. And if we can't do that, then we have to tolerate. There's no other way. So this is what we had to discuss as part of law of karma. I know it's a lot, and the especially the end section was where it's a lot to correlate in short span with our current life very instantly. But yeah, we'll be happy if anybody has any questions we can discuss. So I see one hand raised, Jaswant Prabhati. Prabhuji, yes, you can ask question. You can unmute and ask question if you have any.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Dandavat Pranam. Apologies to be in between, but in messages also a couple of questions are there. Maybe we can take them later. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam, Guruji.
Yes, they can also raise hand if they wish to ask questions, because otherwise you'll have to keep scrolling and searching. But yeah, we'll start with Jaswant Prabhuji.
Prabhuji,
Hare
can I
Krishna.
ask? Prabhuji, can I ask a question?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can raise hand, or after Jaswant Prabhuji, you can ask question.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. May all devotees wait for some time. May I please ask my question? Prabhuji, if ever a person born in a middle class family, the crisis has uh, down into so many depths, is he considered as he had so many past bad karmas?
So, Prabhuji, as I said, now, what is good and bad is actually depend on the individual. Okay, we took an example, we spoke about an example that some person not having eaten pizza in 1 month can be a very he may feel very bad about it. But for many people, it will not be a bad thing. I mean, you are eating chapatis for 1 month, at least you are eating chapatis, at least you are eating rice. So, for some people, pizza is a necessity of life. That's not true. So, but for that person, he may consider it to be a really he may genuinely miss that aspect of life. So, so yes, having born in a middle class family, is that because of my past karma? Definitely, it's because of my bad past karma. But is this bad really? Is this really bad? That's a question that we individually need to ask ourselves. That uh, because if you will compare, by comparing, always we compare it with those who have more, and then we say we have less. But that will always be the situation, no matter who you become. You may become the world's richest person. Now, every year that list changes. A new person comes and he claims to have more wealth than the previous person, the previous number one. So it is endless. Now, question is, uh, what is it that we need? We need a start, a decent start, and whatever we have got is what we have got because of our past karma. All we need to
I have
decide
another.
is what we can do with it. That should be the question that we should be asking, that I have got what I have got, how I can turn this into bhakti, how I can perform bhakti in this situation. Now, that is the question. If we ask, we will find answer in every situation.
Okay.
Okay.
I have another question also.
Yes, Prabhu.
This one is the last. If a person is suffering from this is like itching or something like pain, is that also a past karma?
Yes, Prabhuji. So everything is, whatever happening to our life is a response to our past karma, is a reaction of our past karma. The good, bad, ugly, everything. So, so every disease that we get, every promotion that you get, every job you get, all of those are somewhere linked to the karmic actions that you have performed in past. Uh, will will it how it will play out is something that is very difficult to figure out. Now that's why Krishna is saying that it's gone. But what is understandable is basically that whatever our situation is, that basically if you get to this principle, understand this principle, then you are able to accept the situation at hand, whatever be it a middle class birth, be it a disease condition, and when you accept situation, then you have two more options. One is mitigate and tolerate, but continue to perform devotional service. What Krishna is saying is, it's not that if you're going for an interview and if you fall down, slip and fall down, will you say that this falling down is a reaction of your past karma? This was destined? The answer will be yes. Because you had to fall down, even while going for an interview, you fell down. It's because of some past karma. It had to come. It came in that form. But does it mean that you should sit down? You should not get up and try to go for an interview? No, you should get up. You should, because you have a purpose to serve, purpose to achieve. You have a goal to meet. You have going for an interview. Even if you happen to have fallen down, you will, at every immediate available opportunity, you will get up and you will still want to go for that interview. And that is what we should continue to do. So there will be difficulties and reversals that will keep coming in our life, and we should try to mitigate them as much as per our capacity. And we should keep moving forward. And at times we have to tolerate. When you have fallen down, there could be some part in your body you might have hurt. And by tolerating that, you will still try to go and attend that interview on time. So tolerance, we simply have to tolerate and continue to pursue our goal. In this case, the goal was attending interview. In our case, it can be attend interview, but to perform devotional service, continue to perform devotional service throughout our life. That can be our goal. So that way, despite of difficulties, we can continue to perform devotional service, at times by tolerating the pain also. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. You shared so much precious knowledge to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Himanchal Prabhuji, you can ask a question, and then Deepak Prabhuji can ask. Manas will come to this, the leftover karmas. That's also a topic I wanted to cover. Thank you for asking that question.
I request you to give Raymond Steep, which is in... Hello?
Yes, Himanchal Prabhu.
I presume that Singhania... Hello? I presume Singhania past karma was good. That's why he is developed, his success, and everything become good. So towards the end, when he transferred everything to his son, how he has suffered, where the wrong is.
Sorry, I could not understand, Prabhuji. You're taking a specific case, is that so?
I'm
Very bad audio. Maybe Prabhuji, Himanchal Prabhuji, you can type the question. We are not able to hear you. So you can maybe type the question, or you can send me a voice note on WhatsApp and we can try and answer. We'll go to the next question. Deepak Prabhuji, you have a question, and then we can go to the chat box.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavata Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
It's a wonderful season. we had gone through different thoughts of karma. Guruji, my question is, everything is if doing by Lord Krishna, whether our karma, the intention of karma is also driven by Lord Krishna.
हाँ, so Prabhuji, desire is in so जैसे कि Prabhuji this Krishna at the end of Bhagavad Gita, speaks this beautiful verse that yatha ichhasi tatha kuru. So after having spoken Bhagavad Gita, he does not take away the free will that he has given to the living entities. So we have all living entities have something called free will. Free will, using free will, we can reject or accept instruction given by Krishna. It's like if you are a father, you want your child to love you unconditionally. You may make a rule in your home that unless your children come to you and say, Papa, I love you, they will not get dinner. Now, if you make that kind of a rule, because children want to eat dinner, children will come to you and say, Papa, I love you. Because they are fearful that they will not get dinner if they don't say this. Now, this kind of a love is not desirable. Even at our level also, we will not want our children to love in this way that uh, this is not their love for Papa, this is their love for dinner. They want to have dinner, therefore they are coming and saying that, Papa, I love you. So Krishna being no different. So Krishna want us to love him unconditionally. Love him for who he is, not because what he gives us, or not because he has capacity to take it away from us. So this free will is given to all the living entities. This free will is useful, usable in human form of life. In human form of life only, we can learn scriptures. We can alter our inclinations. We can change our desires. All of that with higher knowledge. So this facility is only available to humans. A cat cannot be taught to fast on Ekadashi. Don't kill mice and don't eat mice because it's Ekadashi. A human can be taught that. So this is the way the free will, because of this free will, the desiring is the capacity of a human. So that is not influenced by Lord. Lord doesn't force people to think in a particular way, be it sinful or be it either otherwise, be it positive or negative, good, bad, ugly. The desires are expressed by the soul. Okay, so especially the desire is what all is in our control. We'll discuss this in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita that the soul can desire. Desiring is the capacity of the soul. The Ichha and Dvesha Samuthena. Dvesha is the emotion, Ichha is the desire. The 7th chapter, 27th verse, Krishna will say this that Ichha Dvesha Samuthena Dvandva Mohena Bharata. This whole journey in the material world began with a desire to enjoy independently of Krishna, desire to reject Krishna's authority, desire to reject Krishna's superiority, and that desire make us go away from Krishna. Is that so? What caused that desire to come to us? Multiple ways, Anusuya way. Krishna says that because of envy, dvesha, if we have that kind of a desire, that emotion in our heart, then we will not want to accept Krishna's authority. Pride is another example. If we feel proud of our association with Krishna, Krishna will distance himself with us. He doesn't like pride in his devotees. So various ways in which a desire can come into our heart. And largely it will be later once we are in this material world, the desires will be driven by our surrounding, our environment, our exposures, our influences in life. So, and of course, the results of our past karma, they also create conducive environment for us. So, if you happen to be born in a Brahmanical family, Prabhupada used to say that uh, in his right from his childhood, in his memory, he used to wake up early in the morning, hearing the ringing of the sound of the bell ringing by his father. So father used to wake up early in the morning and perform puja, and he used to perform arti, and he used to ring bell at that time. And Prabhupada said that I used to wake up listening to that bell, tinkering of the bell in the morning, early morning hours. That is how his surrounding was, and that is how he also developed desires to love and serve Krishna right from childhood. So influence also, the surrounding also has its influence on us in terms of what kind of desires we get. So Prabhupada desired for Ratha Yatra to be conducted at his home. He was given all the facilities for doing that. He started worshipping deities at very early age. So the environment, so we get desires from our environment also. Sanjata sanjayate kamaha, kamat kurodho vijayate. From association, we get desires. We have IPL season going on. You will see many foreigners, Americans, who have not heard of cricket or who have no interest in cricket. They also start talking about cricket because so much cricket is being talked about. They see the whole nation, those who are in India around that time during IPL, they see the whole nation become mad behind cricket. So they also start taking interest in it and eventually learn it. Um, so by association, one can develop desires, but essentially the desire is our property. That's what we get. Krishna doesn't interfere in that. Okay, Prabhuji? Yeah. Vivek Prabhuji, you can ask question.
Pranam Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Well, thank you, Prabhu. Dhanwad.
Prabhuji, my question was since Krishna is not entangled by karma, then why he accepted the curse given by Gandhari for not stopping the war?
Yeah. Very nice question, Guruji. So there's a beautiful conversation that happens in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and wherein after the end of war, Pandavas and Lord Krishna goes and meet Dhritarashtra and Gandhari. And at around that time, she says this that this is what you've been. Uh, you could have stopped the war, and she blames Krishna for the war, and then she says that you will see your dynasty also will fight amongst themselves and end themselves. And Krishna smiles. He says, "Yes, mother, may your words come true." And in the Prabhupada writes in the purport that he's thinking that all his Yadu dynasty, they're all demigods. All of them have taken birth in the Yadu dynasty, and they are undefeatable. Nobody can kill them. Nobody can defeat them. So if they continue to live, Krishna wanted to wind up his own pastime, and he can't leave those people behind because then they can create havoc in the world. So he wanted them also to wind up their pastimes and go back to their respective destinations. And when he heard Gandhari speak those words, he utilized that curse to allow his Yadu dynasty to fight amongst each other and kill each other and go back to their respective destinations. So Krishna so he accepted that curse and utilized that curse in sending his associate back to their respective destination. So for Krishna, there is no curse, but he can utilize anything, and in whatever way he wants. So he had that curse not come, he would have thought of some other way of sending those people back. But because that curse came, he utilized that curse and used that for sending his associates back to their respective destinations.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Yeah, Prabhuji, you can take some questions from the chat if you can point out in.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Dandavat Pranam. So one is actually already asked by, one is from Prashant Prabhuji, and I'll just read out after signing it. Yes, he's saying that, Guruji, since human beings are weak and they think they understand a lot, which they do not, so doing bhakti, if you are suffering, is a tough decision, because you then question God on so much suffering, how bhakti will come?
Yeah,
Like,
Hare Krishna. So yes, that's also a question discussed many times, and how can we perform bhakti? But the question really is what alternate choice that you have, Prabhuji. So think of this. Think of that chart that we showed you. Because of your bad past karma, you're in a very horrible situation today. If you will continue to incur bad present karma also, you will end up creating horrible future for yourself also. So because of bad past, your present is bad. And by doing bad in present, you're creating bad in future. So it's a lose-lose game, isn't it? If you understand our life to be a multi-life journey, that's where the concept of soul and the concept of reincarnation become helpful. If we were to live only once, then this doesn't make sense. Then no need for you to do bhakti, no need for you to form morality, follow any morality. If you can go and slap around people, and if you're strong enough, they cannot come back to you anyway. so 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 but that's very lame thing to do, because because the scriptures teach us that you are on a multi-life journey, and if you accept this fact that you are answerable, the actions of today are going to create your future life, then there is no point in giving up positive actions, bhakti. That is the best positive action we can perform is devotional service. We can do japa, and we have no choice. It's foolish to give it up. Having come to know this, it's foolish to give it up. Why? Because then our from bad present, we are also going to create a bad future. At least by doing right things in present, I'm taking care of my future. It's not that bhakti does not give you happiness at all in the life. You will get in this life also, by performing bhakti nicely, you can experience spiritual joy in this lifetime itself. It's not that it's a post-dated check. However, if we are get too much caught up in our material difficulties, problems, there's no there's it's insane to give a bhakti even in that situation, no matter how worst our situation may become. So giving up devotional service, giving up chanting, giving up japa, giving up devotee association, giving up habit of taking prasad, we are creating, by giving up this, we will definitely create a horrible future for ourselves. And that's not a wise choice by any means. Hence, we should continue to perform positive present actions in today's time, no matter how our present condition is because of past choices. So this is where the devotees can help you analyze your situation personally and help you get the conviction to perform devotional service. That's why we need devotional devotees in our life. We keep insisting this kind of a lecture is good, but not good enough because it will not address individual difficulties of all 80, 90, 100 people. That can happen through a personal conversation. And those are what need to happen. And basis that only we become inspired to perform devotion service. So that's what my thoughts, Roji. Hopefully you're okay with this, but we'll be happy to discuss, Roji. You can message me anytime, and I'll just give you my mobile number. I do get a lot of questions, personal questions, and we discuss, we deliberate as well. So feel free to send any question, because every life is different than another person. So while we speak in a generic way, the application at individual level can become a challenge. So we can always discuss. Okay. Yes, Prabhu. Any other question? I see one hand raised. Let's take this question.
Yes, Guruji. Hare Krishna, Guruji. There are 5-6 questions typed in the chat box, and whenever you will allow, then I'll just reiterate them. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Devyani, yes, you can ask your question if you want.
Ji Prabhuji, namaste to you. So can we say that the goal of everybody's human life is to merge with Krishna consciousness? Means come out of the cycle of birth and death? Can we say that?
The goal of human life is to end the cycle of birth and death. That should be the goal of human life. That's a correct statement. We can do that by going back to Krishna. Now, Krishna is living there's a dham, there's a place, just like America is a place, Vaikuntha is a place, Golok Vrindavan is a place, Ayodhya is a place, Saket is a place. So that those places are accessible to us. For the soul, those are spiritual places, and soul being spiritual being, soul can go there, and so soul can live there in its swarupa. So going back to our home, and that happened to be our home actually. We have desire to live eternally because life in those spiritual planets is eternal. It's like I have experienced eternity in past. Therefore, I'm desiring eternity in present, but I'm desiring for right thing at wrong place. Because in this material world is designed in such a way that everything is temporary. So I have my propensities, I have my inclinations and propensities I am bringing from the spiritual world, where life is eternal, where life is blissful. So that's why I'm trying to become blissful in every situation in the material world. So, so those are the places. So we don't merge with Krishna. We go to Krishna, and we serve him, and he serves us, and we play with him. He play with us. So we have a relationship there with Krishna. Okay.
Okay. So my question then is, in our current life, which has come as a result of so many past lives and their positive and negative past actions, which are bringing us to the current life and its various challenges. So in our current life, we are continuing to do present actions, good and bad, knowingly, unknowingly, everything. So even if we do good actions, won't that also require some future lifetime to, what shall I say, to nullify them? I mean,
Yeah.
a negative action will require a future whenever, maybe this life only or sometime in future, to nullify that I'll have to face. If it's a positive action done good for somebody knowingly, that also to be, for that too I have to take births, that gets nullified, that I get the effect of that.
Yeah.
In which case I will not achieve this going to Krishna's dham.
Correct.
I mean,
So
that's how I'm linking it.
yeah. So basically the whole point is what drives the reaction or no reaction is the intention.
Hmm.
And the intention is when the akarma portion is the actions which do not produce reaction are
Hmm.
performed when our intention is to serve Krishna. Okay. So
Hmm.
when our intention is to serve Krishna, love and serve Krishna, with that intention, whatever actions I perform in the background, they all lead to that goal. So when we
Hmm.
feed people, because as a part of Annadan, and otherwise also we may feed people. Uh,
Hmm.
Now this both feedings are different. As we may feed some poor people, but if we have given them prasad, we are connecting them with Krishna. So this is bhakti. So
Hmm.
while doing actions, all of those can be Krishnaized. They can be they can be done in such a way that our goal of loving and serving Krishna gets fulfilled by doing those actions. You can
Hmm.
you can have a family and maintain a family
Hmm.
with this consciousness, then even that family maintenance becomes devotional service, bhakti. So even if
Hmm.
you work, hopefully not in a butcher house, but or a
Hmm.
local shop, but if you work and raise funds, maintain family, so that all of you can practice Krishna consciousness, even that
Hmm.
work becomes devotional service.
Okay.
In otherwise, everything done for the satisfaction of the self, for the
Hmm.
pleasure of the self, with the selfish desires,
Hmm.
is binding work. Binding means those. So the intention is
Hmm.
to serve Krishna, or intention is my own pleasure. They
Hmm.
define whether I'm going to get reactions for it or not.
Okay.
18th chapter,
Hmm.
17th verse, Krishna will say that, oh Arjuna, the killing is bad. In general,
Hmm.
killing is nobody consider killing to be, we said butcher house,
Hmm.
where animals are slaughtered. So
Hmm.
nobody consider killing to be a very auspicious activity.
Hmm.
But Krishna is going to say in the 17th verse of 18th chapter that even if you will kill
Hmm.
as a service to me, it will
Hmm.
not be considered as a killing. It's an auspicious work.
Hmm.
It's like your killing will not be killing. It will not give you any negative reactions. So this will continue to be a karma. So what
Got it.
you do, or are more important than what you do, is with what intention you do. That is more.
Okay.
And that defines if at all we are going to get reactions or not going to get reactions. And you're right that if you do out of genuine humility, out of genuine, if when you do good activities also,
Hmm.
they will produce good results.
Hmm.
And for those, for enjoying the results of those good results, also you may have to take birth again. So doing good for our own, out of our own selfish desires, is
Hmm.
also dangerous. But
Correct.
doing good for Krishna's this thing is auspicious.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. And you will speak on residual karmas, right? Later on?
Yes, Manas
Okay. Okay.
has I think asked this question, so we'll cover
Fine,
that
fine. I'll
quickly.
wait for
And
that.
yeah, no, we'll cover it right away. So
Okay.
the aspect is this is again aspect that many people will ask that because we don't have that visibility to how much has been our past karma, uh, accumulated
Balance.
past karma
Hmm.
visibility. Nobody has that visibility to that how much stockpile of karma that we possess as of now,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
how much of it has been burned. And
Hmm.
so there are scriptural statements that
Hmm.
even once you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it has capacity to burn all your past karmas for your millions of lifetimes. And
Oh.
there will be many scriptural statements which say that. Some are contrary, some are in favor, and so so how does all of that sync up? sync up? Means how does that end up,
Add up.
end of it? How does I see that as an outcome? So again, this aspect is also Gahan. We take an example of Bharat Maharaj. Now, Bharat Maharaj was a very exalted devotee. He could very renounce palace, wives, so much power, so much wealth, so much opulence. He gave it up all up and came to forest and started performing bhakti. And he used shed tear just by chanting name of Lord. The tears would come to his eyes, and so he was at a very advanced stage of developing love for Krishna. And that stage, he developed attachment for a baby deer who happened to came in front of him.
The mother
Accidentally.
died.
The
Yeah,
mother
actually.
left her body, and then the
Yes.
baby was just getting. He saved him from the river, and then become attached to it. Over a period, that attachment grew, and Bharat Maharaj left his body remembering deer. Okay, now
Correct.
he had performed so much devotional service, such an advanced devotee. One would say that all stockpile of his karma would have got burned, because unless you do that, you can't really reach a stage where instantly you will start crying, remembering God. It's not possible. You can't even act like that. And he was genuinely doing it. So, at the devotional point of view, he was very advanced. But at the same time, he remembered deer at the moment of giving his body instead of Krishna. So, so the both rule applied. He got, because he remembered deer, he got a deer's body, and because he had advanced spiritual consciousness, even in deer's body, he did not have deer's consciousness. He remembered that he was a Bharat Maharaj. He remembered everything that happened in this previous life very clearly, all throughout his life. And as a deer, also, he would spend time at the hermitage of the rishis and hear about Krishna. And eventually, he gave up his body remembering God. But because he was in deer's body, he could not attain God. And he had to take another birth of Jadabharat in the Brahmanical family. So, what we see here in this example, that the complex nature of this, of the law of karma continues to remain complex. It's Gahan. So, so multiple rules exist, and all of them, or some of them, will definitely apply. But how, which rule will apply, which rule will have predominance over other, is very difficult for us to judge and tell, because in this case we could see clearly that both rule applied. Even despite of his advancement, he was forced to accept deer's body, and at one level it's a degradation. If from human birth, human body, if you become animal, it's not considered very auspicious. But because of his advancement, he continued to remember his past life. He continued to remember Krishna. He continued to remember what mistake he did. So the rules and their application is very complex. Unfortunately, that is also Gahan. And hence, again, we need to learn the principles out of it. The principle is that by performing bhakti, our present and our future life will become better. It will be taken care of. If we perform bhakti nicely, we will be able to, if by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, by reading Bhagavad Gita, by taking darshan of deities, by visiting Mathura, Vrindavan Dham, Mayapur Dham, by associating with devotees, we are able to purify our senses, our mind, and our intelligence. So all put together becomes our consciousness. So we are purifying our consciousness by developing attachment with Krishna, by developing that attachment with Krishna. And if we get sufficiently attached to Krishna, we will be able to remember Krishna during our life and at the end of our life. And as Krishna has assured in the Bhagavad Gita, if we can do that, we will be able to go back to Krishna. So this is the way forward that we all can take for ourselves, rather than analyzing too much about the actions and the reactions and the rules applicable to all of that. And how much of my past actions have been burned, how much my present actions are there. What about my actions before coming to Krishna consciousness? Will they be there? Will they not be there? Rather than getting into the analysis of that aspect, we can take this aspect forward, that if I perform devotional service properly, if I purify my current consciousness properly, I will have better future. I will have brighter future. And because this is going to give my future life, no matter how my present life is, I should focus on my creating my future life properly. Now I should not waste that opportunity. And hence, despite of me not being in the best of situation that I desire, I should continue. I should not give up bhakti. I should not give up chanting. I should not give up reading of Bhagavad Gita, studying Bhagavad Gita. I should not give up devotee association, and so on and so forth. So the present action, I should not make a mess of those. I should mess up with my present actions in any case. That is the thing that we can take away.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank
Very
you.
much. Yeah.
Yes, Nilu Mataji, I have a question.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, is it that Krishna only chooses us, like any person, to do his bhakti? And we come to, means, attracted towards Krishna more and more, love him more and more. Is he only doing that?
So, Mataji, Krishna is all attractive, but we find him attractive only when we are favorably situated. Krishna was present in Hastinapur in the assembly when he went there as a Shantidut. Now, same Krishna for Vidura and Bhishma, the same Krishna was looking very sweet, very beautiful, and very attractive. But same Krishna at the same time was unattractive for Duryodhana. Dhritarashtra couldn't see him, but Duryodhana and his brothers were not able to find him attractive at all. In fact, they said, let's arrest him. What is he talking? Why should we even give him 5 villages? Who is he to decide? And why these people are giving him so much importance? Let's arrest him. Let's kill him. What to speak? Let's kill him. He must have killed some demons in past, but doesn't mean that we alone will be able to defeat us. So Duryodhana was thinking like this. So it's our disposition of heart basis which Krishna may become attractive. We may find Krishna attractive or unattractive. What role Krishna play in this? Krishna really doesn't play any role in it. Krishna is equal to everyone. When the sun rises, sun gives light and heat to those who like him, those who hate him, and those who don't care about him. Equally, the sun will rise in the city of Mumbai. The atheist will also see the daylight. Those who hate Krishna, they will also see the daylight. They will also be able to utilize the daylight. And those who are devotees of Krishna, they will also be able to utilize that daylight. So Krishna provides equal facility, equal opportunity to everyone. So it is, and he gives this knowledge. He sends his devotees. Now, depending on your disposition of heart, either you will find the message of Krishna attractive or unattractive. If your heart is too much filled with desires to enjoy the material world, you will not want to remember Krishna. Because then Krishna will tell that Aghayur Indriya Aramo Mogham Partha Sajivasi. That even the human life is not meant for sense gratification, because this facility is even available to cats and dogs. So human form of life is meant for spiritual realization, to understand scriptures, to change the way you live, and attain supreme destination. So those messages are there for everyone to take. Depending on our inclination, depending on our desires, depending on our purification, either we we accept them, we reject them. There's a beautiful prayer that we sing before prasad, that Mahaprasade Govinde Namo Brahmane Vaishnave. These five things that Mahaprasade Govinde, Lord Krishna, Namo, his name, Brahmane, the Brahmanas, his devotees, and Vaishnavas. These five things, Swalpa Punya Vatan Rajat Vishwasa Neva Jayate. You will not have any faith in these five things if your punya is a swalpa. Punya is your spiritual credit, spiritual sukruti. Spiritual sukruti comes from doing spiritual activities. So if you take prasad, food offered to Lord Krishna, when you accept it with devotion and eat it, it's a spiritual activity. Sometimes even if you do it without knowing, it's still a spiritual activity. So by doing spiritual activity, you accumulate spiritual credits. And when you have sufficient spiritual credits, you understand the message of all these five elements. You understand the importance of prasad. You understand the importance of Govinda. You understand the importance of his name. What is the power in his holy name? You will understand that. You will realize that. But if your punya is swalpa, then you will not realize that. And if you remember, look at our life, we've been doing mixed activities a lot, at least before coming to Krishna consciousness. We've been doing a lot of so-called punya activities. And again, generally being devotional and performing activities for Krishna are different things. By generally, because all of us probably were devotees of some god. We can't directly come to Krishna consciousness, but it's like if I'm respectful I can be respectful to all the old people, but I need to be respectful to my father also, because there's a general gratitude I can express, but I need to be grateful to my father. If I'm respectful to all old people, but I behave arrogantly with my father, it is not going to help. So devotees need to be respectful they should have performed devotional activities towards Lord Krishna. And doing it for other demigods makes them little favorable to accept Krishna, but doesn't really help. So that is how it's not that Krishna chooses us. It's like we choose Krishna. Krishna is always available to be chosen. But whenever our condition of our heart becomes better, we are able to understand Krishna, and then we are able to choose Krishna.
So why, Prabhuji, always tear comes when we visit temple on seeing Krishna?
So tears generally comes because of our. So tears can come because of many reasons. Simply by remembering how Krishna has been merciful to us, we can shed tears. Simply by remembering that how much he has done for us, we can shed tears.
Yeah, it is there,
So
yes.
it would be gratitude. Out of gratitude also we can shed tears. Out of genuine love we can shed tears. Sometimes we may shed tears, sometimes we may not shed tears. If you remember 5 visits to the temple, not on all 5 occasions we are able to shed tears. Sometimes our heart just doesn't connect. We have so much going on in our mind. Even if we are standing in front of Lord with folded hands, we are thinking of something else. We're thinking of, could be something to do with work, home, family, something. Hope not war and other things, but sometimes some other things might have had fight with the auto driver just before coming to the temple. Some argument somewhere may play in our mind, and even if we are standing in front of Lord, we are not really looking at Lord, we are not thinking of Lord. So at times it doesn't happen, at times it happens, and all of that is there, and it's good if it happens. but it should happen every night, every time, and so that will continue to happen as we progress in bhakti. But again, that's not the only measure for our progress in bhakti. Our progress in bhakti is can be determined by various other ways also. Even if you are not shedding tears, but if you are chanting very seriously, if you are utilizing all our free time in service of Lord, if you are utilizing all our resources in the service of Lord, so those are also, if you are sacrificing Lord for Lord, if you are serving Lord, His devotees, His mission, those are also sufficient indicators of our devotion to Him. So shedding tears is one of them, but not the only one.
Yeah, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Vikas Oji, it's, I think.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
So,
Prabhuji, around 6 more questions are there. So, if you allow, I'll read out.
so Prabhuji, will you be able to put them, or I can pick up Prabhuji from the chat. This chat will be saved because it's almost 2 o'clock. I don't want to
Yes, Prabhuji.
keep everyone waiting. But, or we can do another question answer session on this topic next Sunday, where we can have more opportunities for people to ask questions on this topic, because there could be more questions also that people might have not asked, so we can give that opportunity. So I'll put that message in the group, and I'll take these questions also. I'll respond to those individuals. Hopefully, I have their names, but if not, I can post those questions and ask them to send me individual messages, and then I can respond to them individually, and we can cover some of the similar questions if we have in our next session, just to make sure that everybody get to address their doubts, if at all, if they have.
Yes, Prabhuji. That
And we
will be
can
so nice
conclude today's
because
session. Yeah.
these
Sorry.
are literally lengthy questions.
Okay.
Yes, they will take time, and that will be good if we will be discussing them in the further sessions or individually. Rather, it will be good that if those can be discussed in the session, because everyone will be benefited hearing the answer to those questions. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying back. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Namaste, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna to all devotees.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Dandavat
Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Dandavat
Dandavat
pranam.
pranam. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you so
Prabhuji.
much,
Dandavat
Prabhuji.
Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Yeah, separate.